Welcome. This is a short introduction video to conditional access, which allows you to conditionally protect pages. The plugin allows you to conditionally protect pages based on specific criteria, and then it will allow you to choose an action dependent on whatever the criteria you provided. So if we look at what traditionally comes out of the box of Umbraco, normally you can protect pages based on their member group, and then you specify a login page and an error page. Now this is perfect for those people who really want this style of protection, but then some people, for example, may want to only give access to people who are part of all the pages, all the groups, and not necessarily someone who's a member of any of the groups specified, which is what it basically does in Umbraco. So let me show you conditional access. So here is where you specify your condition, your criteria. This is using new condition, so you have to have this pre-installed before installing conditional access. And then here you can specify a page it should redirect you to. So first of all, I'm going to protect Explorer by specifying that the member needs to be logged in. And then if they aren't logged in, I want to redirect them to the login page. So if I save that, and then I go to the front end of the site, if I refresh, now you'll notice we've got a lock. This is using a HTML helper that I will show you shortly. So if you click that, it's going to redirect me to the login page with return URL equals and the page I was trying to access. Now that's absolutely fine, so I'll log in. And then I've set up my controller to redirect back to the page I was requesting. Okay, that's all good. Now what I want to do is be able to specify what member groups should have access to this. So I'll add a new condition, and I will specify that the member should be part of a group. So this time I'm going to say I want them to be part of basic or premium or standard. And I can either choose all or any. I'm going to choose any. So I'll save that. And in which case, the member, my test member that I've set up, is part of the basic and standard group. So if I try to access any of these others, it's going to allow me. Okay. Now that's pretty much standard stuff that you can do inside Umbraco. Now, what if I want to be part of all groups to be able to access that page? I'll choose all, and then I'll save. Now if I choose to go to one of these other pages, I'm redirected to the login page. Now you remember I've already logged in, so in which case we need to go back, and this is where advanced actions come in. So here it allows you to conditionally choose what page the user should go to. So this is the standard, but if there's any overriding conditions here, it will use that. So I'm going to set up one that says that if the member is logged in already, I want to be shown the no access page. So I'm going to save that. I'm going to go back to the front end and I'll try and access this page again. There we are. So if I'm not logged in, it's going to take me to the login page. But if I'm logged in, then it's going to take me to this page. Now you can have as many actions as you like. So based on how complicated the overall criteria might be, you might want to show different error pages depending on here. You can also move these up and down, so you can create another action here. If you want this action to be more priority over this one, then you can just click that up button or down, and then if you don't want any more, you can remove that. And that's for content. Now for media, it's exactly the same. So you can protect a media item or a folder. So I'm going to show you an example where I want to protect just this media item. So if I right click and I've got conditional access, now I want to do exactly the same thing. I want to test whether the member is logged in. And I want them to be part of a group as well. So this person, you have to be a member of all groups. And you need to be logged in. I can move around that way. And then if that isn't true, now I could do the other way around, where by default I'll show the no access. But I can say that if they are not logged in, then show the login page. So in which case, if the member is logged in and is part of all these groups, they're going to have access. Otherwise, by default, they'll be shown the no access. However, if they are not logged in, they'll be shown the login page. So if I go back to this media item, and then I go to access the media item directly, it's probably going to show me a cached version, but if I do a hard refresh, it's showing me no access. However, that's because I'm logged in. So if I remove my authentication token, I'll remove and close that. If I try and access this URL again, it's going to redirect me to the login page. So you can do that on folders, pretty much anywhere in content and media. Now the HTML helper, you can, if I show you an example, in the main navigation, I've put a little lock. So we have helper conditional access dot has access. And you could pass in the content ID or media ID or the iPublish content, and it will determine whether, based on the current session or your condition, whether it has access or not. And then you can use this inside your code wherever you like. And just a quick example on how to create these predicates. It's extremely simple. So you have a class that inherits from the predicate class in uCondition.models.predicate. And here you specify a constructor where you specify the name, and this is what's shown to the user, and then an alias that is used by uCondition, which it needs to be unique. Then you've got the icon, which are standard Umbraco icons. Then you've got your category, and if I show you what the category does, if I go back to conditional access, if I choose to add, we have the category there. Then we have a list of editable fields, in which case the next predicate I show you will have. But the most important one is this validate. And the validate takes an iField values, which allows you to get access to the properties that were set. But in this case, is the member logged in? It's just checking the membership helper is the member logged in. Now, is member in any group? This is also a predicate, and this is the name that's shown. Is member in group? This is a unique alias, icon user. It's in the member category, and then I've got a list of editable properties. So I create a new editable property, and I give it a name, an alias, in which case that's fine, and then the control. And this control can be a built-in view, or it can be a name of a data type set up in Umbraco. And in which case you have editable property, member of all or any, and we're going to call it match type as the alias, what we're going to access it in code. And then this is the name of the property that I've set up, and it's just a drop down list with all or any set up. And because all or any are going to be pre-values, I want to show it, I want to resolve when it's shown in the user interface. I want to be shown the word all or any instead of the pre-value ID. I let uCondition know that it's a pre-value. And then this is standard validate method that I call all equals field values dot get value as an int, which because that match type is an ID. I get the pre-value, and then I just create myself a membership helper. Then I'll check whether it's success or not. So first of all, if the pre-value is all, I check if the groups that were selected, if they're a member of all of them, else it was any that was chosen, and then I'm going to check for any, and in which case I'll check if the member's logged in as and is in the group as well. In theory, this isn't needed. I've added this as an additional check. So that's my shortish introduction, and I hope you enjoyed it.